everyone, it's Captain Quest YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Sydney season for 2021. If you're a returning Captain Magpies, welcome. If you're new to the channel, you're watching this for the first time, like, comment and subscribe means the world to me. What a season Sydney's had. 15 wins and 6 on the line for the Sydney Swans. It's certainly been a remarkable season, I think, because the way that Sydney have played. But on top of that, it's a great season to have Sydney playing finals. Thought they were rebuilding, and I honestly thought from the start of 2021 the Sydney will be 16th. Or 15th or 16th. I'll redo the whole season in a way. It's easy to tell, but I think to what Sydney have done this year is a remarkable effort. And I think because no one expected them to play finals, there's been a lot of positives in the wins and the losses as well. You always tend to think that they play well against. I think they've beat Brisbane Lions this year. 1-0 against the Giants. It's a positive and a negative on that effect. They beat us. They lost to Hawthorn, which is again disappointing. But they beat Richmond, and they absolutely smacked the Eagles in Geelong. So I think, as a positive sign, I think the younger Sydney Swans players have come through the ranks, have performed really well. And I think because of that, they're shown enough form to continue as much as possible. So if there is another good sign that's coming through, playing the kids isn't that bad. On top of that, so I think other than that, I think it's been a real good season for them, based on that reason of, okay, we can come out and start performing. Now, I will go through the positives. As I said, they beat the Giants the second time around out of the 3 meetings. I think when you beat teams like that, I think that's a real sign of improvement. They beat St Kilda the first time around, inaccurate Saints, and they lost to them again the second time around. They beat us, which is a clearly performance that you want to see. I don't think that, now looking back on it, I don't think they're that worse off a team. We'll find out whether or not the finals this year, provided that were they ready to make the 8 or they weren't, in that rebuild. So I think the rebuild will come as exciting because you see the kids are coming through. Buddy Franklin's got 1 more year left on his contract. I think he will play on next year. I think he'll get the 1,000 goals. It doesn't matter when he does it, but I think the way that game was for them personally, I think it's how you provide the details as well on their season. So being Collingwood, I think by 27 points or more, I think it's not that bad. I think smacking Richmond like 40 something points, I think it's a huge sign of improvement. I think on top of that, based on how you perform as a team, But other than that, I think that performance alone should hold him into good stead. You think for next season, who knows what's the plans are going forward for the Sydney Swans. If they can continue to play finals, I can't see why they couldn't. Compared to now, you have to start performing and playing well. So I don't see anything but negative. I don't see anything but negative. I see positive signs. I think this group might be up and down in their consistency in their performances, but having said that, I don't think too many teams will struggle with that. So I think, on a good note, I think the Swans unfortunately went down. I think Suns are that they're ready to take the next step as well, as much as possible. But other than that, and I think being West Coast and got the faction that did nearly 100 points, you know. I think if I look back on that game, West Coast are a poor team in Geelong. And I think when you lose games to Geelong in Geelong, and when you lose to Sydney in Geelong, that is a bad sign. And you get that performances, you get the consistency, but you don't want to be having too many inconsistent performances like this as well. But the Sydney Swans, I think they've shown nothing but consistency throughout the season, as much as anything. The negatives, the loss against the Saints the second time, you think probably they should have won that. It's a great win by St Kilda. I'm not discounting that for 1 second. But having said that, when you beat them the first time, you want to come out and have the hunger. I think later on the season that you see many signs of improvement, as much as possible. And the negatives were, so now they beat Essendon, I'm pretty sure they did. But to lose against Giants the first time and in the final, for me that's disappointing. 2-7 is a negative in that season where you think, can I perform in a final type game? Because you look back on it and you think, that's the domain. Can the Swans fix that up during the off season and really look as strong offensively on that? Because if you can't kick straight, it hurts your finals chances. And I think with that, you got to take exceptions that, okay, well, Buddy Franklin, he's done it before. He's shown the reason why, how, you know, he's one of the greatest players of the modern era. You think performs consistently well. Why not when you're such a good team? But will the finals hold them? Who knows at that point? But that is a question mark that I'd like to have answered. Does this game against the Giants haunt them until the footy season? And what I mean by that is, does this performance see the factor that it's one game of the season that you think it's not much of a big deal? Plenty of teams lose like close games in finals, but can you recover and learn to get better and improve? And I think with this young Sydney team, because there's a fair few youngsters in that lineup that took on the Bombers, on the Giants I should say, is it going to affect them? I don't think it does, but that question will have to be answered, you would think, next year, depending on when they finish. Do I think they can play finals? Who knows at that point because of that. I see more or less that teams might struggle to play finals next year, because don't forget there's always that one or two teams that play finals and the year before do drop out. It's like the top four, exact same thing. So you always expect something else to happen with that, but until this stage, like, not too sure of it. How do I rate Reigns out of 10? Do I give him an 8.5? I think with the 2-7, I don't think I can. I think they played well enough that they almost won the game, but to be honest, the Giants took the foot off the accelerator. I think they were about 24 or 30 points in front, I think, one stage in the game. It did look like maybe it was going to be a tough game for the Swans, but I think the pressure is on Sydney to try and back it up next season. They'll get a difficult draw, you think, playing the top 8 teams twice, you hope. But for them to be the best, they got to beat the best teams. Simple as that. It's going to be a tough year, no doubt. So give them an 8 based on that. I think all signs are looking like I think they can bounce back. If they can't, or we are in trouble. But until next time, like, comment and subscribe. I think with the losses that I've had, haven't been that great. I think they lost to Adelaide, I'm pretty sure. Or they may have beaten Adelaide, but you just think that the losses against the Giants the first time cost them a top 4 finish. Yeah, potentially. I think the percentage that Sydney's got is 119.9. So if they beat the teams that they, like the Giants, I know they beat North Melbourne as well. I think they beat the Bulldogs. They may have. Maybe the Bulldogs beat them. Because I was at a different game, that's why it was probably hard for me to tell on that too. But other than that, yeah, I think they may beat the Bulldogs may beat them, or whatever the case is. I think for that, they hold them in good stead for the next couple of years, you think. Next year's a real challenging ask. But if they follow the same hurdle and by the same plan thing that happened to them this year compared to next year, I think that's really going to hurt them in the long term. So it can be daunting for younger teams. I think with more experienced players that they have, I think the better that they get. But other than that, who knows at this rate? We'll certainly wait and see. But if you like the video, like, comment and subscribe. Again, let me know what you think. Sydney season's on the line, definitely in the next couple of years, if they want to make finals and be that consistent top 4 team. But until then, bye everyone.